Case 1. When the government taxes the consumers at the rate of a particular amount per fan. Suppose, for instance, that our local government passes a law requiring buyers of fans to send some money to the government for each fan they buy. The central question of importance here is, how does this law affect the buyers and sellers of fan? To answer this question, we can follow 3 steps. We decide whether the imposition of tax affects the supply curve and demand curve. We decide which way the curve shifts. We examine how the shift affects the equilibrium. The initial impact of the tax of consumers of table fan is on the demand for table fans. The supply curve is not affected as sellers have the same incentive to provide fan into the market. By contrast, buyers now have to pay a tax to the government as well as the price to the sellers whenever they buy fan, that is, rise in prices. Thus, the tax shifts the demand curve for table fans. The direction of the shift is easy to determine because the tax on buyers makes buying fans less attractive. Buyers demand a smaller quantity of fan at every price. As a result, the demand curve shifts to the left or equivalently downward as shown in figure. The tax shifts the demand curve downward from D1 to D2 by exactly the size of the tax. To see the effect of the tax, we compare the old equilibrium and the new equilibrium. You can see in the figure that the equilibrium price of fan falls from P1 to P2 and the equilibrium quantity falls from Q1 to Q2. Because sellers sell less and buyers buy less in the new equilibrium, the tax on market reduces the size of the fan market and the incidence of tax is equal on both buyers and sellers.
Wait a minute. First, you were saying that equilibrium prices will rise because of government imposition of tax. And now, you are saying that equilibrium prices will fall. What's this? I can't see the price rise.
Good observation. See, basically market prevailing price would be higher than initial equilibrium. But what is actually received by sellers would be lower than initial equilibrium because of general fall in demand. If you want to calculate the price with taxes, you just need to draw a vertical line from point Q2 on horizontal axis to initial demand curve, that is D1, and then from that point to vertical axis. The point at which this line intersects vertical axis is the actual price that consumers are actually paying.